Los Ratones start with a 1-0 on the split. Sorry, Foxtrot. But this was an interesting game. Congratulations, Bowles, on your first official league win, by the way. Good death. Oh, yo. That's all he needed. But with Nord as well, we were talking about this, and let's break it down, okay? The idea that Nord had such an interesting composition with a lot of damage across the board, and for the side of Los Ratones, they had Crowny and the mix in between, because you never know what Bowles is cooking. The Messi. So with this in mind, how did it went from such a stable composition to such a high end and Crowny just popping off as well?
I think honestly what it really came down to begin with was Corky Crowny got 2 kills 3 minutes into the game, which already, like, my concerns for the Nord team comp was that, okay, you're kind of putting your eggs in the Crowny basket. How effectively can you do that, and how effective will that be if you can do that? And the first question was answered immediately, like straight away.
Yeah.
So that was a really good start for Nord. And from that point, like, there were never any times really where Ratones had to take any big team fights, any extended fights where potentially a lack of a damage profile could have affected them. There was that one team fight where there was a double TP flank from Nord, like Vizicachi and Noe flashed the wall in mid.
Yeah.
Where they tried to catch Crowny, and for some, I don't know how, he just did not die. Like, they threw everything at him, and Crowny just decided to shrug it off and walk away. So it just didn't work right from the get-go with Nord. Baus was great as well with his map, his impact on his map. It was just crazy stuff right from the get-go.
Look at this. There you go. This is what I wanted.
Ooh.
This is what I wanted. I know Crowny was doing a lot of damage, but there's that individual. You know, the coin flip that you never know what he's doing. 20,300 damage coming in from Shogath. Now, how do you explain this?
Listen, when people talk about Bowers, they usually talk about, the funny guy who ins on the top lane. What I want everybody to see right now from this game even alone is that he is the guy who never dies almost, okay? Never dies for no reason. He is a killable for a reason king, okay? Every time that you look at this game, when he's dying, first of all, how many people from the enemy team is he dragging onto himself? First it was 1, then it was 2, then it was 4. So almost the whole enemy team goes to kill him. What does Los Ratones team do at the same time? They are doing something on the completely different side of the map. And second of all, once Choga hits the 2 item mark, it's not easy to kill him, he also deals a ton of damage back to you. That's where this 20.3k are coming from. He's not going down without a fight.
Yeah, it was like, when you're constantly fighting like 4 or 5 guys, you're gonna pad your damage stats. Yeah. That's just how it is. Bowser's always getting attention, always fighting people. And that's a criticism I have of Nord and their strategy, how they played that game out. Like, they continuously put things to Baus, always put it towards Baus. And I think unless you can kill him quickly, there were maybe like 1 or 2 deaths that game where I think it was a pretty good death for, well, a pretty good kill for Nord. But apart from that, they just...
Yeah, like 2 max.
Yeah, like, we're wasting time, or it wasn't worth it. So, classic Bausing is really at the end of the day.
Los Ratones are starting to cook. And the idea that Crowny was having those kills, and specifically he was protected. One of the concerns was, can you protect the Crowny? I mean, they could until this point. In the front line, the from Los Ratones was way too powerful. I think this is the late game. I think this is the one from the late game. I'm trying to understand which one this is.
No, it's around 10, 11 minutes, because this is the second set of grabbies that we're talking about right now. And the idea for Los Ratones is that they've gotten 1 grabby from the first set, because they literally snatched the last one away from the enemy. So they want to be, the whole team on the top side, to be fighting for this last set of grabbies, so they get 4 of them in the end, and they're pushed with the bows, and the rest is more successful later on.
Yeah,
and this is
dedicated
also
a lot and didn't get anything out of it.
Good if possible, and we will discuss this as we move along through the day. The feats of strength, like first blood, is so important to get those, and the turrets as well, because objectives, like, you need to get the 3 grubbies, you need to get a dragon, like, you need 3 grubbies to actually count as an objective. I think it's extremely hard, and this is the other one. This is what you were talking about, I believe, because Crowley is just sitting there. Reckless is helping him. Fox, You got me, because I know you love
Crowny. This is all about Crowny here. He gets a great engaged on from Treach, a great engaged follow-up with the Vi ulti. No Way's ulti just about whiffs because it's a perfect flash from Crowny as well. But what's important to notice, not only does he not die, but there's so many defensive tools right there for Crowny to survive, right? The Galio ulti is one of them. Reckless has a Locket shield. He uses his barrier and his flash as well himself. So many ways to protect that Corki, and honestly, in that fight, you have to instantly blow up Corki. He had like a 600 gold bounty there as well.
Yeah.
The game maybe looks a little bit different if he just instantly dies. You know, like not only do you get all that gold and that injection into you straight away, but you probably win the rest of that fight too. So big turning point right there. Miraculous that Crowley survived it all, but it was fantastically played from the Adonis.
And also from him as well. This is just to pinpoint what we were talking about. Bao's being focused, but as you stated, Solari, this is no longer the first, second minute Bao's. This is Shogat with a lot of items.
Is this Shogat with 2 or 2.5 items completed by this point? He even survives the fight. He survives 3 enemies jumping on top of him, and that gives enough time for the rest of Los Ratones to jump on top of what is happening here and to actually take back the kills. And what's important is that here Baus gets a kill himself. He doesn't just not die, he gets a kill back.
Yeah, it was 0-5-0 by the way before that fight.
Yeah.
You know what's concerning about this? As he survives, I could hear in my ears his little laugh. That little laugh, like, and moving away. Nord, though, not pulling this one versus Los Ratones. They're going to get another opportunity as we move on with the day. But also, we get the opportunity to talk with one of the players from Nord themselves. And there you go. It's Vizichachi. I like to pronounce this one because Solari taught me. Welcome to the show. How are you doing? It's a great pleasure to meet you, man.
Could be doing better. I was expecting a stronger start from us, but it is what it is. So congrats to them, they played really well.
Help me understand this one, because I watched the VODs from your scrims and all that, and I've been watching Nord. You guys are looking extremely dangerous. What was the massive difference between the scrims and this one? Because I noticed from your team, like, you have the damage, you have the protection, you have everything. What missed?
We definitely had a strong draft. I think we just played a bit poorly in the early game, and once the enemy team got ahead and snowballed out of control, I think that was very difficult to play, especially after they took the first turret on top lane. Like, the Corki got very fed, and then it was just difficult.
It was hard to pinpoint that Corki. And when you're fighting versus the individual you were fighting, I'm a top laner, so I could only feel your pain, because you have to play your lane in the turret because he's farming on the other side of your map. How do you actually adapt to this one? Do you think this is something that might actually pull to other top laners, or do you think this is specifically from that point of view? And how can you actually handle that as a top laner yourself?
I mean, we did kill him at like level 5. And basically that ended the proxy. After that, they just lane swapped, right? So I wasn't really meeting him till like level 9 again. But I think in the lane swap, we should have probably just gotten a bigger lead on him, since he ended up going 1v2 to bot lane. I mean, we'll just have to rewatch as a team and see, but I have this feeling right now that we could have gotten a lot more out of this than what we did, because I know that the enemy bot lane was barely hitting the turret, were not chunking me, they were not diving me. So it felt like they're just wasting their time kind of on top lane, so we'll have to rewatch this sequence. I think this was key to the game.
Love it, love it. So aside from the game, let's forget about it, because you're going to be playing later on as well. You have another one. Tell me about the Nord composition. The amount of experience you have and voices you have with the mid laner as well. He was popping with Victor as well. Tell me, is there any sort of over voice in the comms? Because all of you have a lot of experience. All of you stepped on stages that are just amazing. So tell me, how does the communication within Nord inside of the game works, if possible?
Well, sometimes it's really good, sometimes it's a bit worse. It really depends on what day we are having or what composition we are having, because sometimes we have this like innately getting onto the same page and doing the same stuff, just because you said we have a lot of experience, right? But at the same time, when we have a bit of different opinions, it can also fall apart a bit, and I think this is where we need to target it and where we need to work on that we are more on the same page in different scenarios. So that's what we are looking to like improve on at the moment.
Final question for you, and I'm gonna try to ask this to everybody I meet today. Can you give me a weird prediction for the entire split. Something that is a little bit out of the box that you can think of that might happen. Your prediction, Vizichachi.
My prediction.
Yeah.
Could
be wild. Could be wild.
Very wild, very wild. Okay, Bulldogs are gonna go to second place.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh, I love it. I actually love that one. Hey man, it's such a pleasure to meet you, and I wish you the best luck for the next game, and I'll see you soon, I hope. Best of luck.
Yeah, thank you very much as well. See you. Bye bye.
He's so nice.
Yes.
So nice.
Yeah.
I'm so honored to be part of NLC this split. So this is a wrap for North, and the idea that Bulldog might end on second place. Interesting. I like these wild takes. We have wild takes from casters. We're setting up a weird bingo for casters. We've had some out of the box predictions, by the way, but we're still waiting for two casters, and as soon as we have that ready, we'll toss it to you. But I also want to get those predictions from the players themselves. As we move on with this, we're still waiting for Los Ratones interview. I don't want to spoil who's going to be, but from the North situation, I'm going to ask you on both of you on this situation. When you have a lot of voices and all of them are experienced as they have in North, this could be a conflict of interest, because it's not like the voice that is saying a play should happen is wrong. It might be right, but not all of them might be on the same page at the end, you know?
That's not the question to the players, though, in the end. This is the question to the team organization and the coaches who are standing behind the players. That's why when you're talking about a team, especially a team with big names like Nord is having currently, you gotta look beyond just the 5 players who are playing. It's about how well is the org behind them and how well it is supporting them and helping them find their voices and the timing for their voices.
I love that. Fox, before you answer, we do have the interview with Los Ratones, and talking about experience, well, I'm just going to say this is an individual with a lot of experience. Krauni, welcome to the show. Pleasure to meet you. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
Always. It's a pleasure to finally meet you. And, well, this was a game that you needed a lot of kills. You look into the composition and you know, well, it's on me. Like, we have a lot of tanks, but I have to dish the damage. Were you kind of nervous with this composition, or were you extremely comfortable?
Well, we all agree that tanks are super OP in the team right now, and we had a lot of success with it. And they picked 2 immobile carries into Jarvan, which is generally quite a bad thing to do. So we knew if, like, the second I got those 2 kills on bot, it was kind of very easy game from onwards, because I can just swap to top and take plates, and then when I'm ahead of the curve, it's very easy.
And that was an interesting fact, the fact that you were swapping as soon as you could, and you had like Baus trying to make that weird push that he does, allowing you to take those timings for the dragons. At the beginning, when I was watching your scrims, there was some sort of miscommunication, correct me if I'm wrong, when Baus was doing it, if you could take advantage of that or not. But it looks like it's fixed. As soon as he goes there and he does his thing, instantly the rest of the team is already looking for something else. So is communication prime right now within Los Ratones?
Yeah, I mean, for sure we are better than we were a month ago. We also didn't manage to scrim with the full roster past month, but we've been doing really well now in scrims. So I think we're just improving, and it shows, yeah, for sure.
So you still have one more game through the day, and I want to let you rest because I know these are complicated and it takes a little bit on your mental as well. So the final question for you, as you stated, you played with full roster like from a month ago until now. Reckless joins in, Kedril is out. Tell me, do you have any words for Reckless for joining in Los Ratones and taking away Kedril as a support? What would you like to say to Reckless?
I'd just like to thank Reckless for saving my experience in Los Ratones. No, but jokes aside, I've been like very honored to be able to play with a player of Reckless caliber, because even in the games we play, I feel like he just sees like even a step or two ahead of me on what to do, and he can pretty much play anything, and he always knows what I need because he played AD carry at such an elite level for so long. So it's a big honor to play with all of my teammates and everyone in the org. So it's been amazing so far, yeah, and all the fans.
Crowny, that was a lovely reply, by the way, lovely answer. And I know you're PR trained. I know as soon as Bao steps on interviews, things are going to be wild. But thank you so much for joining.
No
It's a pleasure to meet you and an honor. And best of luck for the next one.
Likewise. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Lovely. There you go. And I love this. I see your smile, Fox. You know what's going to happen as soon as Messi joins. Oh boy. Oh boy. Exactly, 100%. And I'm gonna love every single second. So, Los Ratones versus Nord is over, the first game of the day for NLC. By the way, thanks everybody who's watching and tuning in. It's a massive pleasure to have such an amazing show for everybody and to watch these players battle it out on Summer's Rift. As we move on to the next game, it's gonna be Bulldogs versus Verdant. And this is an interesting one. There's a lot to take in from this situation, and we're gonna start talking about both teams because we had to kind of rush these teams at the beginning of the show, and now we can finally focus on this one.
Which one should we even start with, to be honest? Okay,
You
no,
pick.
you know what? I pick Bulldog Esports
Yes.
because they have my boy Mietek. Listen, I am very biased towards Bulldog in this one. I don't know if I am allowed to be biased at all right now, but I
can.
love... Thank you. I love Bulldog Esports because I already touched very briefly on Kissing, but first of all, he's coming back to NLC, already having at least one trophy of NLC in his pocket. He's coming back, hopefully, to get some more. And he's bringing in massive amount of experience because everybody else has been playing in ERLs in the team, but have significantly less experience compared to Kissing when you count their professional experience. When it comes to Mietek though, because I have also briefly touched upon him, he has been playing an Ultra Liga in a team that unfortunately didn't find much success throughout the split in the previous year, but Mietek was actually the shining light of that team because he was overperforming. The guy was really young. He joined Ultra Liga when he was 18, starting professionally at only 17, and he was already the best player on the team. He was already the shot caller. He has an insanely large champion pool. This guy, I feel like he has such a high ceiling, and I'm excited to see him playing against Puppeteer today.
Interesting. I do believe we have last minute sub coming in. As there you go. This is interesting. I'm getting the information. Babuli is out for today. It's an emergency from Verdant itself, and it looks like Maxi is going to join in. Maxi was a jungler on Koi, if I'm not mistaken, is joining in. I don't know if he's going for the top lane as well. I'm trying to get that information as soon as possible. I'll let you know. I'm just giving you the feedback. We are an honest, broadcast towards the viewer, so we're just waiting for that one. And as soon as I have
he's
this
lying,
one-
guys. He's just completely made this up.
I have no idea what I'm doing here. I never played League of Legends before. So,
like, yeah. So you're saying top lane Verdant is getting subbed out for Maxi? Is that what you said there, Archer?
trying to confirm.
Or jungle.
Yeah,
No
'cause
name's
I
a jungle.
know
I didn't quite hear
Maxi
who
is
you
a
said.
jungler.
Maxi is a jungler. Yeah,
That's
so
it.
I'm
But
just
who did
trying
you
to get
say
the
was the
information.
emergency? Didn't you say?
It should be
I didn't hear who you
Babuli,
said.
which is Papitiro, if I'm not mistaken, one of
Okay,
the
okay.
Portuguese individuals. I'm trying to get that information.
So if
Okay,
if
there
that
you
is
go.
true, then that would be a jungler playing in top lane. So
There you go.
it's,
Maxi will be playing
yeah.
top lane for
We got
Verdant,
we got
yeah.
a sub top as a jungler. Now on the plus side, if there is a lane that can play weak side, lock in a dog champion, it's top lane. And junglers are not foreign to the idea of playing for the team and not getting much love. So he'll lock in some kind of boring tank. There's some crossover in champion pool there as well, no doubt. Yeah, but that's not a great start here for Verdant, unfortunately for them, and obviously unfortunately for Papitiro. Like, best wishes to him. Hope everything's all right there. But their first game here at the NLC versus Bulldog as well, and I think this is going to be an interesting matchup regardless. I think both these teams, a few question marks about them coming in, as in we just don't really know too much about our expectations for them and how their rosters will gel. Both new rosters being put together. What's interesting as well, though, like I always put a little bit of a highlight to Ronaldo because I think he's a quality mid laner, especially for the regional league level. Him and Kasing were teammates as recently as like last summer, right? They played on the same team, so yeah. Now they're up against each other, so there'll be a bit of rivalry there, and obviously as well they should have some familiarity with each other and how they like to play.
As we're waiting for the game itself to start, we got to see Attaquant and also feats of strength. We can dive in a little bit into those ones. I don't know if you're really used to this new Attaquant objective and the idea of what it provides, if you want to talk about it. Because I know the way it pronounces in Portuguese. You told me it's the same, Solari, in a different language, which means attack. And it kind of is, because Verdant is pushed into 25 and now Attaquant goes on to 20. And it's such an interesting objective that gets a lot of people confused still about doing it, because people like to stay in the middle of the objective and not understanding that he does a lot of damage on the small AoE. And the way it provides, like, okay, either he spawns on the top or at the bot, depending on the action and all the damage that has been provided. What is your takeaway on this new season? Because it's kind of fresh. Teleport is, but it's kind of fresh.
Fresh is a good word to describe the new teleport, I'm gonna say. A very reversed word to describe new teleport. The thing about new teleport, though, is you can't use it reactively anymore, especially before it's unleashed, because that guy is extremely slow. The time that it takes you to fly in this little tiny blue ball of thing to the place that you've decided to teleport to, during that time, everybody's gonna be dead if you're trying to react to a fight happening on the other side of the map.
It's not fly if possible. It's walking faster than usual. It's not fly, that thing.
So,
You walk a little faster. Scandinavian.
Scandinavian wall. Fair play. Yeah, a lot of changes for the new season. Fortunately, not mega overhauls. As a jungle player, that's nice, because that's usually what we see every year. I mean, to be fair, we've got a huge, massive objective come through, so I guess there's a big change there. But it does seem like a lot of incentive is being put towards objectives and team play. A lot of that comes down to the feat of strengths. It's the best of 3, first to 2. So you got first blood, first turret, and first and getting an objective.
3 objectives.
Each of these will get a little tick off. Objectives being dragon, but also Shelly, and 3 void grabs, you 3 to tick that one off. And once you've got 2 ticks, you're sorted. And that'll upgrade your boots, and then unlock tier 3 boots as well. So a few changes there, which means that early game, those objectives are a bit different. And we can see right off the get-go, Bulldog, they've been watching that Rotonis game. They're like, no thank you, no sir, we are not playing versus that. And that's the instant Corki ban.
Just seeing the information as we jump into this second one. Got the Corki, the Maokai, Draven on the other side, just to make sure that it doesn't happen. We've known Kasing for a while, so we know his champion pool, and now with the Freeless Draft, it allows him to go a little bit deeper, and we can get those engagers and also support. He played Yumi. If you wanna, and follow him, that's on you. But I don't think he's gonna be played right now, thankfully, as Obstinatish.
I've heard that Yumi's okay, actually.
Don't do that. Don't.
I've heard words about Yumi. I don't shoot the messenger.
The individual that provided you those words should be blocked. No hate against the champion, obviously.
Maybe it's time to block them.
I like it.
Anyway.
You have a sword. You have to use it eventually. Sejuani is being removed from this one as we're waiting for the final one. Vados has been so important. We didn't get to see a lot of Vados in the previous game, though.
Yeah.
We didn't have a chance to.
Exactly. He was there, but that game was just a little bit dunzo right from the get-go, wasn't it? But yeah, like you say, a lot of bot lane bans. Varus is a great pick. I wouldn't be surprised to see open, and yeah, the arcane effect is real. So what's this? Vi coming through here, maybe
Where's Jizz?
I don't know.
No, it's Varus. It's so important. I would like to see if he's able to pop off with this Varus and provided a little different gameplay from what we had previously, because Varus was not allowed to play. It's different. It's not like he didn't play good. It was not allowed to be played. So you can pair it with probably a mid laner or even the support if you want to give that attention as well, or the jungler.
Support would be nice here right now, to be honest, because the pairing for Varus with his support on the bot lane is very important. But I go with the jungler, and I'm having flashbacks from the previous draft, because this is exactly what we saw last time with Varus being paired up as Vi as the second pick. Just a good jungler works very well with Varus, especially if you combine the ultimates together in a team fight.
Okay, Wukong's been rising in favor a lot as a jungle pick since the end of last year. Yeah, he's very solid and good at all times of the game, and can set up team fights nicely as well. Having an Ezreal on your team versus Varus is always good too, because you can, that's a lot of strong engage coming through from that ADC. and jungle
Oh.
Endure. And yeah, keep yourself safe there. And that is the Xerath
Hello
lock-in as
there.
well for Ronaldo here. So I mean, it could be Xerath support. Honestly, like Xerath support is a
Could.
thing, but
But
I feel like seeing when you see the Victor matchup, you know, you
yeah.
a long range kind of style mage. You pick your own long range style mage that's even longer ranger than Victor, right?
But that's a good point. Like the sniper bot lane. Usually we see Xerath and Jhin probably on solo queue more often than not. But this Xerath can go bot lane for Obstinatus. Obstinatus, I know him as a high engage, but that would be interesting. His Leona is clean.
Listen, I understand the point of sending Xerath to the bot lane together with Varus, and I can see why it could work, but I really want the Xerath to stay on the mid lane, because with Victor right now, it's a bit of an obnoxious situation. You can't really send many champions against him because he outranges everybody, almost, and then on the mid lane, he has such a massive prio that it really helps the champions who want to be playing through their early game, and then they can also scale later in the game as well as they would like to. Xerath solves all these problems because Victor can't do anything to him. Xerath outranges him like he outranges pretty much everybody in the game.
So, quick information as we're looking into the second phase of bans. We have information on Maxi. Someone brought it into me hot from the oven. It's, well, he played with Riddle on finals for NLC in 2020, so he knows his way around NLC. It was a champion with Fnatic Rising in EM finalist as well. He played a little bit on LCS with FlyQuest in 2019, and most importantly, he's a Dane. So, you know who gave me this information. It was Duckling.
Duckling. Who else
Thank
could
you
have
so much
been?
for that. Oh, wait!
it's unironically
Victor
the arcane
versus Jizz.
What?
Glorious evolution!
Are they gonna hug in the end?
Wait, I
What they
saw
are.
different arcane. It was violence.
They hard
Tried to kill him
They hugged at least once, okay?
with a hammer. That's not
Yeah.
a hug.
They were good friends like that, okay?
Yeah, just close friends. Yeah, potentially
Yeah,
not as close
roommates,
as some
maybe?
people were shipping them to be. Either
Yeah.
way, let's move
Okay,
on.
yeah.
So let's talk about the rest. Then we've got Jace. Like, I mean, outside of the lore, it's the top lane going to be that most likely going to be that top lane Jace. It could still be mid and Xerath bot, but I think for Varus there, I think competitive is kind of giga int, so it probably isn't going to be that. And Solari raised some very good points about why it's solid in the mid lane. So yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, Maxi's locking this in for me, I think is a little bit sus because he's a jungler that's been auto-filled into the top, right? He's a last minute emergency sub, and I don't feel like Jace is like an emergency sub style champion.
But the thing about Maxi that we talked about, you know, how the junglers can rotate to the top lane and still play those defensive champions. Maxi is not a defensive jungler. He has been playing really aggressive junglers throughout the last season, so it's probably something he could have cooked before.
Could have done. I respect it at least.
Just watching the swaps, I expect
Gonna swap,
another one.
Right?
What else we're gonna get? The arcane fight now. They're gonna swap, obviously, right? Surely.
Right?
Surely. They have until 20 seconds. Don't worry. We have a lot of time as we're about to jump into this game itself. I would like to get predictions, by the way. Solari is winning 1-0. I don't know how chat is going, but do let me know on the chat and spam on who do you think is gonna win, Bulldogs or Verdant, as we're not getting a swap, by the way.
I can't see the time. Are we down to...
Probably, yeah. I got word from Hiprain that Ronaldo can go top and maybe Maxi can play in the mid lane.
True.
You
That's
know,
not a
things
bad
can
shout,
happen.
actually, yeah,
Okay.
It's a flex, not on the champion, but on the
Yeah.
players. They're flexing the players. Now you know they're on top of their game.
Which
Who's
is
gonna win?
flexing.
Now you, Foxtrot, you start.
Yeah, I think Bulldog has a very, very easy comp to play. Super easy, super simple. Yeah, can't go wrong with that, honestly. The less brain cells it requires to pilot your comp, the more likely I am to understand it, and also to agree that it's a good idea to play it. So yeah, I'm on the Bulldog hype train for game one.
Okay. What about you,
I
Solari?
want to go with Verdant, to be honest, but the fact that they are having a sub, which always complicates things a little bit, and also the fact that their comp really needs to shine as early in the game as possible and get ahead, because it's going to be very hard for them to play from behind, makes me agree with you actually this time, Fox. I think it's going to be Bulldog.
Bulldog is gonna win this. So 2-0. Nobody's going for Verdant on the desk. I'm the host. I can't make predictions, by the way. Sorry, everyone. So that means we're gonna top it into the casters and toss it. It's going to be to Hiprain and Trouble. They're all betting on the dog. Woof, woof, you take it away.
He got the
Did he
names
just
right
bark?
this time. Yeah, he did.
Did he
Just let him be. Just let him be. He got the names right this time, though, so that's good. Hello. Getting ready to go into the game. I am very doubtful that we're going to see a Xerath top from Maxi, as he is a sub.
I think it's going to be mid. I think it's going to be
Yeah, that's got to be mid, right? Surely.
Okay, listen. If you're a jungler, I'm sorry. Your hands don't work the same as the other lanes. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It has to be said. So, I feel like mid lane is the... not quote-unquote easiest to play, but I feel like it's the safest to play. Shortest lane, you're kind of in the middle of the map, you can get help from your support, from your jungler, from your top laner, so I feel like it's the easiest way to play. Plus, Xerath is not necessarily a very dangerous champion. You just sit all the way back to tier 1 tower, not even tier 2, and just shoot the minions from there.
Yeah, I feel like it's probably just going to be the Xerath mid for Maxi here. What I'm also interested by is the Jace build that we see from Ronaldo, because there are a few different builds circulating around. Obviously, you have your traditional Jace, which is more AD focused, but there is a tank Jace kicking about. There's another tank build, which I actually put down in my predictions, which Archer talked about, so I'm going to keep my mouth zipped until then. But there is another build which is identical, I believe, apart from one item. That kicks around, so a couple of weird tank champions poking their heads up at the moment. And I think Ronaldo's not going to play it. I don't know. They have enough damage, though, so maybe you can go tank Jace.
I feel like
But you got so much range,
have the
right?
chance. Yeah, absolutely. You have so much range on the side of Verdant, and you've got 3 poke champs and a Karma. The bot lane is winning for Verdant. The second you insta-lock Braum blind, you know you're going to... I was actually scared that Xerath was going to go bot lane and destroy the Braum straight up.
Yeah.
But Karma is also a very powerful pick into the Braum, as we've just gotten into the game, and...
He's got
from
grasp.
formation right here, yeah.
Ronaldo's got grasp. So
Yep.
it is a potential for him to go in for that tank build. But yeah, like you said, a lot of range. So this game could get a little bit hard here for the side of Bulldog.
You know what I love? Usually when there's a Braum in a team, you absolutely do not invade him. Braum is one of the strongest champions level 1. Just his passive simply is one of the strongest non-actual spells in the game on that level 1. So it's a little bit difficult to invade, but they have so much ranged champions on the side of Verdant that they just took that Karma towards the top side. And as you can see, Ronaldo is going to go towards the top side of the map. Pretty good matchup into the Jace, and Max is going to take lead. Now, let me tell you, if you're new here, who Maxi is. Because one moon, actually many moons ago, back in 2021, this guy was playing jungle for, I can't remember if it was Fnatic TQ back then or Fnatic Rising. It was Fnatic Rising, I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
it was Fnatic Rising back then.
On a legendary run all the way to the finals of EMEA Masters, back then EU Masters. Almost took down K-Corp, 3-2 in the final. So this guy has been in the NLC for the longest time. So welcome back, Maxi. Even if it's for one game, of course, let's say auto-filled, quote-unquote, right here. Emergency sub for the side of Verdant, so he has to play towards that mid lane on the Xerath.
Yeah, it's going to be getting a little bit shoved in early here. Ronaldo with the grasp, though, screams to me that this might be that tank build. I believe it's Horror Radiance Fimbulwinter is the build, if I remember correctly. It's been a minute. Do you see already, though, Kassin getting pretty heavily bullied out by the range advantage of Verdant's bot lane. As you so rightly predicted, they just have so much range, but, you know, the Braum, he's better into these other melee engage supports. That's his job. He counters the things like Lilionas that jump in and you lock them down.
He's incredible into melee champions, but none of these champions from Verdant want to play melee range into you, apart from No Name possibly onto this fight. He has the chance to play a little bit more aggressive in the early game. Your top lane's winning, Jace is pushing, your mid lane, after you've got Lost Chapter of any mana item on that Xerath, you'll be able to push in waves a lot more safely as well. You'll have a lot more range too. So the Xerath will be fine after a couple of mana items in his inventory. Bot lane is going to be perma-pushed for Verdant.
Yeah.
So this Vi, No Name, has the freest pass into wherever he wants to be. And that's very important. Wukong is one of the strongest champions in the jungle in the current patch, especially with how much shred he has through his kit and the fact that he can go Black Cleaver as well. He's one of the biggest threats to tanks. There's no tanks on the side of Verdant, and No Name is already wrapping around on that mid lane.
Yeah, Lulus was in the area hovering. Came in, going to make his way over, catches him with a flash. Flash comes out from Cayman. There's the Q, gets dodged away. Flash E-dodge Cayman. He's got the moves. Fancy feet, but I don't know if he's going to be able to run far. No Name slides in with the Q and secures first blood for his team.
That is many flashes blown that early into the game. Cayman, of course, his own, and No Name and Maxi too. But they do manage to secure 1 kill. That's very important. Why? Xerath has a lot of range, can melt down a wave. Again, a couple of mana items as Exofang.
There's the barrier out from Mishi. Exofang uses his as well.
No mana.
Can they keep him alive? They've both run out of mana. Kasing is incredibly low. The flash auto comes through and secures the kill for Verdant in the bot lane. Brutal.
Oh, that must feel so bad. That must feel so bad. Dying to a Soraka or a Karma or a Lulu auto attack is one of the worst ways to go. You literally know you were 0.5 HP. Unfortunately, right there from Kasing, it was a pretty good engage. You see that Braum really struggles in lane, especially when he's against double range and he can't reach. But once you have piled up onto the Braum and you can't get that passive stack together with the Ezreal, it's actually a little bit dangerous, because both Michigu and Obstinatus are extremely squishy on these two champions. Almost tipped onto a Bulldog scale, but it wasn't quite the case this time around. The kill luckily went into the Karma, but I said luckily there was a Blast and Wand purchased from the support.
Yeah, that's a pretty big buy. I'm assuming it's going to be the Malignance. Which is, I know, yeah, Malignance is blasting one.
Screw support out of cookies.
I mean, it's Karma. Karma Malignance. I know they nerfed it a long time ago, but when Malignance first came in, it was awful to play into Karma when she had that item.
Do you
and it's
remember
still pretty
Malignance
brutal.
or Corki?
Yes. I would like
Ari?
to complain about it, but
Yeah.
I abused the hell out of it. Ari still builds Malignance, man. Like, item is... I like the item, actually. I do really like it.
You sound like a TFT player. Usually TFT players yap around items a lot. Like, oh my god, Ornn items. Oh my god, positioning.
I've only recently picked TFT back up, so...
Wow, you're picking up all the bad habits with it. Nice.
Yeah, I haven't ever watched a professional... Oh, no, I've casted it with you. Me and you casted TFT together. I forgot about that. Ignore me. I have watched professional TFT because I did it. Cayman...
Because I did it.
I have been a TFT. Cayman's got a pretty solid lane versus Maxi. No surprises, auto-filled mid versus not. But farm relatively equal, so it's not too bad. But this is affording Lulus here for Bulldog to secure themselves their first jungle objective. Tie them up on that jungle section of the Feat of Strength. But you are racing for that first Tower Blood. Which right now, honestly, I think bot lane is probably under the biggest threat of Mishi. Really got a solid lane there. Able to get that first kill easy, and they've got a nice shove in. Braum can just not do anything versus this range.
Yeah, and check it out right here. Nolan's still with the top side of the map. He does have that one first kill, of course. And he's looking to get his red buff. Let's see if he's going to choose to be a little bit more aggressive right here. Victor came in the mid lane. He's not going to have flash for quite a bit longer, so you could potentially abuse that fact with the level 6. In the first game, we talked about a naked Vi. Had nobody to dive in with. You go in, you die alone. Right here, No Name does dive, but look how much range comes with him. The Xerath can reach deep without actually committing the body in. You've got Ronaldo, who can reach from super far, can also play the tank bolt and go a little bit further in with the Vi. And you've got Mishi on that Varus as well, who can also reach the Vi further in. So let's see, again, No Name on this Vi has that first skill, how he can use that to try and snowball that early game to their advantage.
Well, Lulus is making his way over. They're going to go onto Obstinatus. He is locked down by the Winter's Bite. They are going to try and get a kill onto Kasing, but they're unable to do so. Mishi even burnt the barrier there as Exofang secures himself a second kill. Lovely little pick up there for the side of the bot lane for Bulldog.
Yeah, and you see here came in big respect on the fact that I know Vice probably somewhere around, doesn't have the flash, has to be extremely respectful, and No Name is there.
There's the flash, there's the lockdown, and it is an easy kill for Maxi. Beautifully played by No Name. Came in, thought he was paying respect, but not enough.
I mean, you kind of have to take that experience from the wave dying as well. He knew that something was happening. The wave was already pushed, had no flash. Vi had level 6, so it's 1-1 on the map in terms of kills anyway. Now, again, let's keep a track of feats of strength right here, because Bulldog are on the back foot. The first blood, as you mentioned, has already gone over to Verdant, and they also have 1 of 3 neutral objectives on the map. They need 2 more. The next one that's going to be spawning is that dragon in about 1 minute and 45 seconds, and then you've got the second set of grubs that's going to be spawning very quickly after that dragon. So I'm expecting that both teams will be trading one and another. Now, Bolden Tower has taken a bit of hurt. Mishi with a bit of gold in his inventory. Let's see if he's going to be backing out any soon now that Bulldog Gaming have come back from the reset.
Yeah, it looks like I'm actually curious of your thoughts on feat of strength. As might have to hold that as Maxi getting Chaos Stormed here. Does have the flash if he needs to. Flashes away from the death ray in the last second there. There's no name in the area. The artillery comes in though with the right of the arcane. Cayman able to dodge 2. The 4th comes down and he does get heavily chunked. No name, no flash, no ult. Means Cayman will survive today.
Great stuff right there from Cayman to chase him away. Now it's the Seraph that doesn't have a flash available. So let's see. It's Lulash's turn. That's how it happens. Every single time it's one of the 2 junglers' turn, but his turn is towards the top side of the map.
Yeah, Ronaldo goes for the flash, but he is locked in place. Mike going to be able to secure the kill, but it's a trade out there. A 1-for-1. Meanwhile, we do see Cayman secure a kill in the mid lane, but Lulas is getting jumped onto by No Name. No Name, no ultimate. Lulas gets caught by the Q. Hasn't got any ability to use his W, and he is secured. Mishi now putting the damage into XFang, able to get the kill. This is just constant action. Kasing going low, able to flash away to safety. Obstinatus doesn't have that flash. He's just used it as Kasing limps underneath his tower to safety.
So how many kills did we have in about, what, 10, 15 seconds of action? I think we had Cayman solo killing Maxi over in the mid lane as Ronaldo gets dive, takes one with him, and then Missy and Obstinatus, they're having a great 2 versus 2 over the bot side of the map. Verdant overall come out the winners. And let's look at the replay bottom left of your screens right here. Great snipe coming in from Cayman. I think Maxi was browsing.
Yeah, I think he was in the shot, but Cayman finds himself in danger. Laser beam does hit onto him. Lulas gets caught up by the W. They don't know if it was the clone or not, so they don't pull the trigger. Lulas finally fires that clone out, gets himself away to safety. But with the grubs up, it looks like everyone's attention is towards it. Cayman may find himself in danger. They do have the ultimate. They decide to use it onto Lulas and not Cayman. Lulas going incredibly low. Mishi not going to get the kill as it's taken away by No Name, but Verdant have just accelerated this lead.
That is huge. Verdant brought 5 members towards the top side of the map. Remember, feat of strength. They've got 2 out of 3.
Right in the arcane. Maxi secures the kill.
Oh, I was about to say they have 2 out of 3 neutral objectives, so getting those grubs would be huge. But right here, they can actually control the entire side of the bottom map as well. They've killed mid lane. Yes, there is a teleport onto Kami, but that's 15 seconds away. Now No Name is done with the void grubs over the top side of the map. But look at what Obstinatus is doing. While mid lane is dead for Bulldog Gaming, he's setting down the vision to try and prep for that dragon when it comes up.
Mike's about to have all out. Ronaldo needs to be careful. Is able to escape as No Name comes into the area. They're willing to give up the dragon to go for the kill, but No Name with a beautifully timed Q, able to secure the kill. Maxi going low. Obstinatus comes in to try and save the day, unable to make the connection though. And down goes Maxi once again. Ronaldo shoving the lane out. But ultimately, this could just be Dragon number 2 and tying up on those neutral objectives for that feat of strength.
Yeah, I feel like it was a little bit of an overextension right there for Maxi. Yes, you do have Obstinatus sort of shadowing you around that mid lane trying to protect you. But I felt like this was a great time for No Name to press his B button, reset, get towards the bottom of the map, try to fight for that dragon. Had they gotten this one, they would have the feat of strength. Obstinatus is a little bit too overextended right there.
He's playing the bait though, because in comes No Name. He's going to lose his life. No Name is out of there just as quick as he arrived. I think the bait from Obstinatus was a little bit too easy to grab.
Dude, that was like a reverse meme. It was like, call an ambulance. It is for me.
Yeah. Here's a replay of Maxi's death.
Again, you can't say that it was an overextension. He literally dies underneath the tower, but the chase does start from that mid lane. He was a little bit overextended right there, ends up getting punished. Great stuff from Bulldog Gaming. And it's very important for them that they did actually pick up this Dragon. These 2 out of 3 neutral objectives for them. They can actually participate. Sorry, not participate. Try and defeat Verdant on that chase for feats of strength, for the extra boots, for the extra goodies, for the extra stats that it provides you with. They do need 1 more neutral objective and a first tower. The option for first blood is no longer there.
Yeah, they do need to be able to pick that one up. You can see that the Unending Despair is the item picked up here by Ronaldo. So going for a more, I want to stay in the mix of everything and fight, which does mean No Name has got a buddy to jump into fights with him. So something to keep in mind is Mishi is just going to throw the chains out. I don't think Cayman dodged that. I think Mishi just missed.
He just kept walking.
Yeah,
Like
just
here's the
walked
thing.
away.
He just mind controlled him because everyone expects the dodge. No one expects you to keep walking straight in a straight line. So Cayman kind of played Mishi right there, but Verdant right here, they've got their sights on that bot lane tower. It's going down really fast, and they do get it. That is feats of strength for them. 2 items and upgraded boots is all it's going to take for the extra stats to start coming in. And a lot of people have been debating whether the extra stats are worth the gold, the investment that you get, but it really is worth the investment. You get a lot extra movement speed, you get a lot extra, well, depending on which boots you do get stats from it. So especially when you're 2 items and when you're ahead and you've got the feats of strength, you've got the extra gold anyway. If you look at them, they're about 2,000 gold ahead. So you definitely, if you split that up between 7 members, you would need about 2,500 for these boots. They pay for themselves.
Yeah, I'm convinced the Swifties need nerfing though. The buff Swifties are terrifyingly fast. Turns to a little race car.
I feel like the multiplicative movement speed right there is a little bit of a problem, especially when buffs start coming through.
Well, the problem is, right, like a lot of the other boots buff multiple things. They give a bit of armor, a bit of extra movement speed, but like Swifties only give move speed, so it's just move speed and then extra move speed on top of that. It is rough as Obstinatus might be obsoletus at this point as he's about to get himself caught out, able to flash the wall and get away to safety. Cheeky little escape there.
Yeah, I feel like Bulldog Gaming were looking for a pick towards the top side to then capitalize onto that Reef Herald. However, you had to have Nitec TP towards that mid lane to try and save the tower. You take a flash of Obstinatus, so unless they can capitalize onto that that summoner from Obstinatus, I feel like Bulldog Gaming are losing a lot on the map right now. Who's going to stop the Jace towards the bot side of the map? Ronaldo does have the TP, doesn't necessarily have to move towards the tops of the map, and right now Cayman has to walk down, stop Jace,
I want to see the Demolish proc. Watch Ronaldo's Demolish proc here. He's got loads of HP, and boom. Massive chunk of the health of the tower. Isn't going to pick it up on this wave as Cayman makes his way over, but almost half health to the turret with a single wave. So that's a scary split pusher from Jace.
We do have both teams sort of waltzing around topside River, going for that Brief Herald. It seems like Bulldog Gaming haven't came in towards the bot side, expecting to push out that wave. They need to catch up on the other lanes as well. Verdant so far, they played a pretty solid game. They're always ahead of the play. They're pushing up their lanes, setting down the vision, going for the objective. This is simple League of Legends, but that's all you need. It's just textbook. Push out a lane, get a kill, get an objective. It's simple as that.
Really, really nice. As Cayman may be able to pick this tower up. He does have 3 grubs, but Ronaldo should be able to clear the wave here with a Q. Make sure that doesn't get under any threat. Ronaldo doesn't actually have any magic resist, so Cayman can
Is that the arcane skin?
actually do damage to him. That is, they're both using arcane skins, I think. No, that's not the arcane Victor. I don't know what Victor that might just be base. I have no idea. Oh. Anyway, Ronaldo going to be getting jumped
arcane
into.
Action.
The Unending Despair, though, will keep it alive for a fair amount of time. In comes the backup, though, from No Name as they get the knock up onto Lulus. The artillery from the right of the Arcane firing down. Cayman able to dodge away on a couple of those shots as he does slide in forwards. Cayman just about able to break away, but he is going down. Ronaldo secures the kill. True shot barrage hits onto multiple members. Ronaldo just about limping away from this fight, but Verdant have taken it over. Everybody down but Myatech. Beautiful play from Verdant.
And look at the health bars. Verdant find the pick towards the bot side of the map. Guess what else is there? The dragon that's spawning Verdant. They've got no one to be scared of. Cassandra is just about catching up to take the wave. Push it out. And all the time, Ronaldo has already gone back to base, TP towards the top, trying to take that top lane tower. Again, Verdant are just one step ahead this entire time. They're using the kills, they're using the pressure, they're using the vision to consistently snowball those objectives on the map. There's going to be yet another tower, the first tower on the top side of the map. And let's watch this one more time. Ronaldo gets caught. Now that's not a full glass cannon Jace. That is a tank Jace. It takes a while for him to get down. But that time, Nonim was already shadowing. He was around. The second Lulash steps a little bit too far forward. We see the artillery coming in. And it's what we said. Vi needs a buddy to dive with. She has Zera in this particular one. He doesn't have to commit his body to the play, but that damage coming through from all the focus.
The fat Ronaldo limped out of that fight with probably 10 HP.
Not even close.
Absolutely calculated from him. Really, really nice from Verdant. And it's nice to see because Verdant are a team who we picked up for a while in the NLC, but they never quite hit that mark after taking, I think it was 23 Spring, if I remember correctly. And then they kind of just crumbled ever since then. So starting off very strong here versus Bulldog. A 4,000 gold lead in their pocket. Already accrued those feat of strength. And now we're about to see Ratakan show up in the top side of the map. Don't know which one it is because I haven't had a look up yet, but when that spawns up, we'll get an idea.
Ratakan?
I don't know how to say his name. It's Atakan. I think I just had Ratones on the mind.
Did he just play for
He
play for Los Ratones?
We basically did, let's be real.
All right, well,
there's like
wanted
8
to say...
A's. I've darkened in their stupid uses of A's. Down goes Obstinatus again.
It's going to be the Karma gone, and it's one of the downsides, right? When you've got 3 poke champions, a squishy melee champion, and a very squishy support, someone has to move deep into the jungle to try and set up some aggressive wards, especially since you're ahead in the game. I'm actually very concerned here that even though Bulldog made a pretty good pick, they had no setup, no lanes pushed out, mid lane's not pushed out, top lane's not pushed out. They're giving Atakan over to Verdant for free, and now he's going to be able to just take more and more from the map. The smite's going to be there from No Name, no problem whatsoever. And they're going to have pretty much a free fight. You see, Maxi does have the TP. If I'm not wrong, Ronaldo has his TP as well. Just got his boots upgraded. Oh no, he doesn't have his own available. But basically what you get is a free Garden Angel for the next fight. And Verdant have been less than shy throwing their bodies at Bulldog.
Yeah, I guess their only real issue is there's no objectives that are going to spawn up in time for the revive for them to take that fight, so they're just going to have to hard force if they want to have it. And I mean, if you lose the fight, you give up 500 gold. You don't lose any of your shutdowns. Very nice.
It's in the LPL, a lot of the times stall Atakan, so they can, because you have 150 seconds of the buff, especially when it's the revive buff, to actually line it up with Baron spawning. So you take the fight right on Baron, and then you just take the 5v5, but it's actually 7v5 because the 2 members have actually walked there and have teleport. So you throw your bodies in at first, kind of like Karthus Gaming. You throw your bodies in at first, you die, you respawn, you TP back in. Surprise, it's a 7v5.
Yeah, it's really, really brutal. Seeing the Fimbulwinter now finished up on Ronaldo as well, as mid lane tower is going to go down. And Bulldog, they know that this fight is just not worth it because they're not going to get any shutdown gold. They're only going to get 500 if they somehow pull an ace out of their sleeve. But they are going to have to think about it soon. Down goes the Winter's ultimate coming in as you see Lulash going in for the Cyclone. Hits onto multiple members. In comes the revives. Verdant making a run for it. Ronaldo not even going to attempt to try and take one with him. 3 members down, and they get a single kill's worth of gold.
All right, well, you do get 3 revives there, gone for the side of Verdant, so worthy. That was a great flank from Lulash, but you do have the next dragon spawning in 40 seconds, and a bunch of those cooldowns are currently missing from the side of Bulldog Game. And if you look on the other side, No Name still has his, Maxi does the same as well. Only Mishy had to actually commit his ultimate. It's going to be up in a couple of seconds as well by the time they get towards that dragon. It's going to be very, very difficult for Bulldog Gaming to actually even contest getting inside their own jungle. I feel like their only choice here is push out that mid lane wave and then deep into the river straight up from where Karma is playing right now. Because walking into your jungle is going to be very dangerous.
It's going to be incredibly dangerous. Ronaldo immediately jumps in. He's going to get caught out by the Winter's Bite. Knocked back, frozen in place. He is being locked down. Ronaldo, though, is unbelievably tanky. Flashes to safety. Kassim going incredibly low in the mix of the fight as well. Right in the arcane. Still available to Maxi as it starts to rain down onto the members of Bulldog. Not going to find Kassim with it, though. Just chunks them low enough that they can now turn their attention towards this Mountain Dragon.
Not the biggest fan of Verdant right here, A-ramming when they have so much vision control inside Bulldog's jungle. You see, oh, Wukong. Wukong's around. Lulash, he could potentially steal that dragon.
Yeah, where's the monkey? Monkey coming in, looking for Obstinatus instead, catches him with a Cyclone. Second Cyclone lands onto 3. Obstinatus goes down, but Mishi is free firing away. He's pinned in place, flashes over the wall. The Chaos Storm almost finishes them. It's not able to make the mark as he does look for Mishi. Mishi felt the breeze of that laser on his bottom as he ran underneath his tower. So close.
I feel like Verdant a little bit have lost focus of what's happening on the map. That was their third dragon. That's going to be so point for them as the TP is going to come through from Ronaldo to defend that mid lane. I feel like playing that ARAM, it's like playing into Bulldog Gaming's hands. I think Lulash has had 2 fantastic fights where he finds the backline, he finds crucial knockups, and then all the damage comes through from the Victor and that Ezreal. Didn't care about the dragon, he cared about winning that fight for his team, getting some gold back for them. And he has been great so far. The previous one he found with the flank, and this one is a great testament of what this guy can do, especially when there's that backline. Verdant need to get focused again. Play through your vision. You've been ahead the entire time by pushing waves, setting down vision, daring enemy team to walk through and catching them off guard. And I feel like taking your foot off the pedal right there has allowed Bulldog Gaming a little bit of leeway to get back into it.
Yeah, absolutely. Is Lilith dodges away from Maxi's pick. And yeah, I think Verdant maybe getting a little bit confident, a little bit too comfortable. As this Karma just about goes down once again. 2 and 5 on the support. Bulldog, they might look at a Baron angle here. Ronaldo's used teleport his bot lane. It looks like they're going to reset instead and decide not to go for it. Nope, they're going to pull the trigger.
Go for it.
Lulas. Maybe look for an assassination on No Name.
Go for it. Lulas is looking for the... He can get inside this pit whenever he wants to anyway for the smite, but he can get a huge flank.
Oh, dodging away on the right of the arcane. Does hit onto a couple of members. Kassim somehow avoids that last shot. Ronaldo lands in the queue, and now Bulldog starting to go low. I think Lulas was a little bit too slow. Coming in, gets that Cyclone off onto a couple of members. No Name is going to be able to break away. Another Cyclone connects onto Ronaldo, but Exofang may just find himself in danger. Has to flash over the wall. The True Shot Barrage doesn't do enough damage, but they do find the follow-up. In comes the ultimate from the Vi. No Name pinning it down onto members, but he finds himself taken out. Bulldog have found their opportunity back into the fight. Exofang goes down. A triple kill for Lulas in the back of this fight, as Obstinatus and Maxi are still here. Lulas is full HP. He can keep going if he needs to. Obstinatus needs to be careful, but looks like they're going to back off. That was an incredibly messy fight, but somehow Bulldog, they pulled that out of their sleeve. Beautiful play.
Wow, there's 2 very crucial things to keep in mind, especially when that replay drops. Lulash has constantly been trying to find those angles. He's been trying to find flanks to catch the backline. But right here, as you will see, he's getting up from the enemy red buff and he's gonna head down. Now there's 2 members right there. There's Mishi, who's gonna insert himself in that rush, and Bulldog Gaming do not have vision of it, and there's Maxi. Typically you see the Wukong go for one of the 2 carries, however that's not the case. He's targeting No Name and the Jace. They're pretty tanky, which means Maxi gets to walk out, and Mishi plays this entire fight from the comfort of that rush where Bulldog Gaming have no vision of. So both the artilleries from the side of Verdant are free hitting this entire fight, and this is what's saving them from this being even worse. Bulldog Gaming had the right idea, they lost sight of Mishi though, and that almost cost them a very, very good team fight, which was a 4v5.
Yeah, really, really nice though. Oh, all in all, they are able to walk away with the victory off the back of this one. Kassim gonna make his way back into the mid lane, and now the question is where is the attention going to be next? Because this has been a much more close game than we saw in game number 1. Just 2,000 gold separates the 2 teams, and Mishi maybe looking for a Cassandra here. Miatek needs to try and get himself out of this one, but I don't think he can. That's an attack speed Varus, he's going to do a lot of work as the all-out comes in. They find that lockdown. Mishy's
2v1.
actually going low. Myatech almost goes 2v1. If there wasn't a karma in the pocket, that was one dead Varus.
Well, I'm going to say here, 2022 Cassante eats those 2v1s up. But also, I'm glad we're in 2025 right now, and this champion is no longer that busted. Almost that busted, but not that busted.
I swear I heard a Heartsteel proc, and now I'm looking at his items and he doesn't have a Heartsteel, so I don't know what I heard.
Sorry, I meant 2023, not 2022. I have not transitioned into 2025 yet.
Yeah, time is bizarre. We are actually going to see the Bulldog once again are attempting the Baron. They're going to throw down the artillery from the right of the Arcane, but it's too little. It's too late. Kasing may hit a couple of shots, but only going to hit them on the way out. Dragon getting started up, though. This will be Soul for Verdant if they can get it. Ronaldo finds Kasing backing in the bushes. The reset comes in from Exofang. He actually cancels it to make sure his support gets out safely. But Soul in the pocket of Verdant. Elder now coming up in 6 minutes' time. Bulldog, they found a window, but they need to punish with it.
I feel like it was a good decision from Bulldog Gaming to go towards the top side of the map and take that Baron down. There was no way you walk into that bot side river to try and even try to contest for that last dragon, which gives Soul away to Verdant. So at least they take something very valuable from the map. They can stall, they can push out with the Baron buff as well. Try to find those fights that have been very, very benefactory for them. Try to get Lulash in a position where he can flank, he can jump through a wall, he can find the key carries. No flash on Maxi for a couple more seconds. And let's see if Bulldog Gaming are going to be able to find an angle to actually engage upon him.
Looks like
Exofang just about keeping that buff onto the cannon minion. Not for too long, though.
a menace, but the tower, mid lane tier 1's still up at almost 30 minutes now. Definitely going to be a little bit of a sore point. They need to use this Baron to kind of open the map up for themselves. Once this tier 1's down, suddenly the map really, really opens up. As we finally do get to see the Arcane lane came in versus Ronaldo, Jace versus Victor. As No Name maybe looking to play a little bit of an interrupt here. It's actually very lore appropriate that the Vi shows up as well. Ronaldo is just gonna send Cayman packing for now. That tier 1 still standing. How is this tower tier 1 still up? They are gonna go for it. Yeah, they want it. They need it.
Attack. They want to take the tower down. They heard you. They're like, wait, guys, 30 minutes and we still haven't gotten that mid lane tier 1. But now they've got the Baron, so they chose the right wave right there. So far, Bulldog Gaming have been very eager to try and pinch Verdant into one place where they can actually control the map. This time around, it was a pretty good call. You take that mid lane tier 1, you can try to take control of the map as well, push out those lanes, breathe a little bit, and then try to take control of sides of the jungle where Lulash can be an absolute nuisance with that Wukong.
Yeah, absolutely. It really boils down to, if Bulldog are forced into a position where they are contesting Verdant, and Verdant are the ones in control of that area of the map, then they're just going to get heavily poked out here as Lulas is going to be forced to use the Cyclone. Does have another charge of the ultimate as Cayman comes in to try and save the day. The gravity field from Cayman goes down. The Chaos Storm not really frying anyone right now, but Cayman is able to get the turnaround in. They throw down the True Shot Barrage, the right of the Arcane, everything. Cayman flashes over the wall, and in the middle of the fight, Myatech is going to try and get himself out. He somehow finds a window to flash the wall, but No Name is going to continue to chase onto him. Myatech gets a slow. Can he keep the healing alive? He's actually doing a fair amount of work here. No Name! There's no way he wins this 1v1! That was disgusting!
K-Sante, ladies and gentlemen, K-Sante. I mean, to be fair, that is a Vi with no ultimate. You don't have a lot of your abilities. You've wasted your Q to gap close onto the Cassante. And that's a Cassante that's 2 levels up on this Vi. Absolute unkillable monster right now. Myatech, I'm actually surprised that Bulldog Gaming got away alive from this one.
Yeah, the fact they got a kill on the way out is absolutely insane. Beautiful play here from Bulldog, and their top laner really showing up in this game. Huge, huge performance from him. Multiple times we've seen him play incredibly clutch on the Cassante. Now 3 items in, approaching on that 4th for the moment. As Bulldog definitely doing a solid job of trying to get some control back in this game. Now the Baron didn't really result in much other than a tier 1 in mid lane, which is a little sad to say. But they've been pretty on it with this Baron so far, so I expect when it respawns up, they're going to turn their attention towards that, although they do have to worry that the Elder spawning up in 2 minutes' time shortly after that Baron is going to be a major concern. And the question is what objectives more valuable to each team? I feel like it's Elder with the amount of fighting that's been going on.
Now here's the thing, both teams have a decision to make right here. For Bulldog Gaming, you need to play towards the sides of the map that you have vision on, and at this particular point, it's the top side of the map. Now you've got a minute and a half until Baron comes up, and 20 seconds between the two objectives from when Baron technically died, quote-unquote, to when Elder Dragon's spawning. And mind you, teams have so much damage right now that these neutral objectives go down super fast. So you need to also account for the fact that you're going to get blocked walking on the bot side river and see which one is more important for you. Having all that much poke on the side of Verdant, Elder Dragon could be a very, very lethal weapon in their hands, specifically with their composition. Right now, Verdant, their job is to push out the waves. And look, they're dipping towards the bot side of the map. They're like, listen, if you want to take the Baron, you won't be able to push with it, because once we fight you and we'll have Elder, we're just straight up stronger in a fight.
Yeah, and Elder extra horrible when you're playing into these poke comps as well, because they're going to have that range poke, which then applies the burn, which slowly whittles you down. Lulas being hunted here by No Name. No Name actually down a level. Probably would like to have that level 16 for the next fight. I don't know how far off he is in XP, but if he could get to level 16 and get that last point in his Cyclone upgraded, that would be very, very big for this next fight.
Yeah, they're pinging towards the bottom of the map for Bulldog Gaming right here. They're trying to take control around the Elder Dragon as well. Both teams very equally matched when it comes to that. Sing.
Lulas was thinking about it. No Name cues forwards. There comes the right of the Arcane from Maxi. Mayotech losing a fair amount of HP. In goes the Cyclone. Couple of members are knocked up. Exofang on the sidelines of this fight. Lulas already low. Mayotech as well. No one on Verdant's gone all that low. But somehow a window for Exofang opens up and he's able to secure himself the kill. He's still alive. No flash. Sorry, he has no life. Well, no, he does. He's alive. He has the flash as well. Now he's dead. Came in going low. Lost track of the Ezreal in that fight. He's a slippery little guy. Came in on the run. We see a triple kill getting picked up there for Mishi as well. And the teleport away from Cayman is absolutely huge. No Name taking a fight versus Double Monkey. But I don't think Lulas wins this. Down he goes. Vi gets the shutdown.
Level 17 versus level 15 Wukong as well. Mishi has already started that Elder, and especially when you go for that Elder first, it's guaranteed that you'll take the Baron as well. With the Elder buff, Bulldog Gaming will have absolutely no way of fighting Verdant off of that Baron. As you can see to the top side of the map, Ronaldo has already started the Baron as well. So both of these buffs are gonna go towards the side of Verdant, and it just felt like Bulldog Gaming just run out of steam. There was no damage. I feel like Mitek got poked out way too early. That's your main front line, and then Lulas goes in, but then he gets pushed out. It just felt a little bit too messy from this little Bulldog.
I think Exofeng found one assassination onto the Karma and then positioned himself poorly to do so, so that he went down. And you're seeing that burn. As we'll have a look at the fight once again. It was a brilliant little opener from Lulas coming in with that Cyclone onto 3.
Now, I want you to keep your eyes onto the chain of corruption that hits Mitek right there, because they take him down to almost 10% HP, which give Lulas the opportunity to try and dive in. But those Karma shields and the protection that this composition from Verdant has is insane. They've got so much range. It's so difficult to get onto the backline, which is Maxi, which is Mishi, onto this Varus as well. And it feels like the only assassination, as you mentioned, was the one on Karma. Big deal. Support went down.
Yeah, I mean, also she'd done her job because she got the big AoE shield off and ate a bunch of damage for her team, so going down doesn't matter. So definitely a little bit of a misplayed fight there from the side of Bulldog. And now they've got to contend with Baron and Elder in the side lanes. It's going to be an incredibly hard task for them, especially versus a poke team. This is where a poke team shines, when they've got you forced under your towers, they've got Baron, and they're just able to whittle you down slowly but surely. Ronaldo has been able to open up the bot lane tower as well off the back of this. The inhibitor should fall. Believe that's the right of the Arcane onto Exofang.
Oh, no.
It only needs one more. He flashes away. Can he survive the next? He's not going to get hit. Somehow finds him. The gift of the Elder secures the kill. Maxi, the sub-jungler playing mid lane for them this game, came up huge there, secures those kills as Mishi able to get another one onto Gasing. Down he goes. Lulis could be next up on the menu. His clone goes down and then him quick to follow. Came in forced on to the fountain. He is being whittled down. Mishi wants the quadra kill, but it's going to be secured by Maxi. Game number 1 for Verdant and Bulldog goes in favor of Verdant.
I love the confidence that Verdant went in with this game.
Yeah.
Having a sub, an autofield sub as well. Max is a jungler, and he played mid lane, he played Xerath. Not only that, but you're ballsy enough to buy a Magi's as your second item.
I didn't even see the Magi's.
He had 20,
wow.
It was his second item, 21 stacks by the end of this game. And it's great because it's really difficult to navigate a lot of these poke comps. If you overwalk too forward, you get caught. If you're not too far enough, if your positioning sucks, you get caught by someone like Wukong. And Lulash did an incredible job every time to try and find the correct targets over in the backline. So I feel like Verdant with a sub looked strong. All I have to say is I can't wait to see them with their full roster.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Bulldog looked really, really capable. I'm excited by these teams. I think Group A genuinely has a bunch of very, very good teams, and I'm really excited to see how they do. Obviously, this was a Verdant versus Bulldog game, so I'm excited to see how they fare up versus some of the other teams in this group. But we're going to throw ourselves to a quick break, and then we're back with our game number 3, so we'll see you in a second.